This is the updated Mahindra Bolero. You can call it the Bolero Classic because there's a new Bolero which is known as the Bolero Neo, which is the one to buy because this one is priced at 11.81 lakhs on road Mumbai, the top variant which is known as the B8, yet misses out on a lot of features and the quality fit finish here is really very poor. But before we start, let me show you this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses. This is the Involve One Snowfall. It's a very cool fragrance because first and foremost, it's super easy to regulate. It does not leak at all, and the best part is that it has this menthol type cool breezy whiff which really refreshes you. It's one of my favorites. In fact, it is one of the top sellers from Involve. So you can get yours with a 10% discount using coupon code FASTBEAM. Click on the top right corner of the screen right away. Anyways, coming back to this car, which is the Bolero or the Bolero Classic. Well, this has been on sale since a real long time and I have a lot of bad things to say about this vehicle. So if you're a Bolero fan, it's the time to shut this video. If you're a Mahindra employee or a Mahindra dealer, block me right away because we are going to get started right away. For starters, this updated model has a few changes. The grille is actually new. It has these chrome bars on it and obviously the new Mahindra logo which came earlier itself. The bumper also gets certain revisions, or does it? I don't know, I don't care. But metal bumper here, wow, what a feature. And you get fog lamps which were there earlier as well. But every light in this car, halogen, yes, halogen, 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 halogen. In fact, this is the main light, low beam, high beam indicator. You can see the bulb obviously, and this light is for nothing. But Mahindra did not even bother to redesign the light. They're like, okay, this is there since long, let's just keep it. Nobody will notice. FASTBEAM will notice, he's looking at you. And this is actually the parking light. Straight away, let's open the engine bay. And yeah, it's not easy, but oh my goodness, this is so damn freaking heavy. You get insulation here. Now, it's important to show you the washer fluid. I'll tell you why. Because this is for the front wipers and there's a separate washer fluid for the rear wiper. There's no engine cover here. But yeah, it's a Chintu Mintu engine. I've shut off the car. I've not turned it on right now because there's a lot of vibrations of the 3-cylinder engine. So you will not hear me talk much. And obviously the key is inside because I had to turn on the lights, and the key is also kind of cool because it's the same as the Scorpio. And now here is where you get a hole where I think you can insert something to do something. I don't know what. Towing provision, probably. This car doesn't need to be towed. It will tow other cars. And you get this mesh grille treatment here. In fact, the dimensions of this car are a bit weird. That's the reason you can see the tires are so far ahead here. And the bonnet is completely flat. The windscreen is sort of upright here, and since this is sort of a basic car, it misses out on a lot of stuff. The dimensions only look weird. It's almost 4 meters long, and you can see it looks a bit weird here and there because they had reduced the length of the car to get excise duty benefits. So the engine also got downsized from 2.5 liter to 1.5 liter, and that was a benefit because obviously prices came down and 1.5 liter engine better in terms of performance in spite of low displacement, still better. Good amount of ground clearance, sort of the G-Wagon design, which people like to call it, the mini G-Wagon. This is not even 1% of a G-Wagon, so I'll just call it the B-Wagon. Indicator functioning here, lot of panel gaps, lot of ill fitting. In fact, notice one thing, all exposed bits. Yeah, all the wires and all, they are all exposed. Looks like a college project because you can see the ABS cabling and all, everything is exposed. That's not cool. This should have been done a lot better. And I think the horn is placed right here in the front, and some chrome treatment has been added. Now this car is available in 4 colors. There's a white, there's a beige, there's a silver, and this stealth black is actually new, which Mahindra is promoting as if this car has now got a V8 engine or something of that sort. It also gets diamond cut alloy wheels, tire size 215/75/15, and just notice the sidewall is a lot, which definitely helps in terms of ride quality of the vehicle. Mud flap has been given there. You get a side footstep, exposed hinges, take that G-Wagon, and this antenna is manually adjustable. So there is no shark fin antenna, there is no whale fin antenna, there is no Nemo fin antenna. There is this manual antenna, which is okay. But the problem is, look at the hole. It seems like has been done by some carpenter locally. This is very poorly done. I can't believe that a car costing almost rupees 12 lakhs has such shoddy quality. Obviously, it does not get keyless entry. It doesn't get push button start. None of those features are there, but that's okay. I don't want to debate on that. Now, this sort of a grey line runs throughout. I don't know what this vent is. It doesn't seem functional, but it is not functional. Obviously, it's a design treatment, and fuel goes in right here. Now, because this car's wheelbase is almost 2.7 meters, it's a 5+2. Mahindra calls it 5+2, not a 7-seater, but on their website in the brochure, they're like, comfortable 7-seater in the list of features, which I absolutely disagree with. Again, all halogen lights. You can see the bulb. This is actually for the reverse light, and you can see the screws here for the light as well. Exposed hinges, tailgate mounted spare wheel with Bolero badging with this nice casing and cover as well. And you get a rear wiper washer. high mounted stop lamp that is to open it by the keyhole, and that is the placement of the exhaust. The side footstep had been plonked right inside so that it is under 4 meters, which was with the previous update when they made it. I think 2017 when they made it sub 4 meter. Yeah, exhaust is actually visible. Lot of things are actually visible in this car. 2 parking sensors at the rear. You can see this. Yeah, I mean, wherever I look, I'm like, why is it like this? See this? Why is this frame open and seen? So they've not even bothered. They don't care. They're like, bikri hai bikne do. They call it the cash cow. I mean, I call it the cash cow in marketing terms. If it ain't broke, why fix it? I mean, it's broke, but the sales are not broke, so why fix it? Anyways, let's open the rear door. Now here is where washer fluid goes in for the rear wiper, because they couldn't connect the front and the rear ones. They're like, okay, we'll give a separate one here altogether. And look at the exposed bits. Yeah, exposed wires almost everywhere. Jump seats for, I don't know what reason, because this is a 7-seater, so 5 plus 2, not comfortable, not good. No seat belt here, so not safe. No headrest here, so yeah, the last row passengers don't get a head rest. And of course, legroom here is very poor. Someone who's sitting here gets really cozy. Trust me, if 2 people are sitting here, 100% chance of a posh case happening, because where will you keep your leg here? There's no space only, and that's the reason you can push this seat ahead and fold it to have some amount of boot space. For concealing it, you have to actually use this mechanism, which is a bit, you know,
अबे जल्दी बोल, कल सुबह पनवेल निकलना है.
Regular, or I would say like a jugaad, and same is the case here. So once you do that, you can obviously have some amount of boot. Yeah, that gives this car at least some amount of boot space. Meanwhile, if you pull this lever, what's going to happen? I don't know what's going to happen. This thing opens, which is for the AdBlue. Yeah, so they have given this on both the sides, this lid, and it says Bolero B8. Let's shut the door, because this is like a B wagon. I can do it with full enthusiasm. And what happened to this seat? How did it fall down? Okay, the legs have not been removed, so that's one of the reasons it's fallen down like that. I'm telling you now, everywhere there are exposed wires and cables, very shoddy quality. In fact, exposed screws and all that in metal ones. So please get a TT injection before getting inside this car. Now let's get into the rear of the vehicle. Firstly, the doors are small, but they do open quite wide, because this actually holds it together. No rear door pockets, and power window controls at the, I mean in the right place at the rear at least. Power window is like really very slow. You know why? Every time you try to operate the power window, a command goes to Mahindra's headquarters. They give an approval, and then only the power window starts doing its thing. Child lock function has been given. And in terms of space here, it's like really very poor. See this, everything is so exposed. Imagine if you're wearing open footwear, you can get hurt here. They could have at least concealed it. I understand rural people want rough, rugged, crude and all that, but they don't want to get hurt, I'm sure. Now I'm going to put this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses right here in the center, at least some storage space there. And this will obviously make the car smell really nice. In terms of space, it's like really very poor. Poor footroom. I mean, footroom is fine because I can slide my legs right below the front passenger seat, but just wear closed shoes, because otherwise you'll get hurt. And in terms of knee room, it's not good. Leg room is not good. Under thigh support seems to be okay. Not bad. I mean, it's okay. Gets the job done. And headroom, well, that is almost adequate for someone as tall as me. There's a handle to hold on to, no height adjustable seat belts. Look at this finishing, it's not even properly finished, and I don't know what these holes are, probably to secure the roof on the top. You get a magazine holder here. This is not scooped out, doesn't need to be as such. Center passenger will also be comfortable because there's no rear AC vent now, so there's space for him to move around, but this is my seating position and there's no space here. You have to be a joker to be sitting in this row of seats, and you have to be a kid to be sitting in this row of seats. I mean, this row of seats, not ray of seats. I had ray of hope with the updated model, but no, nothing of that sort has happened. Center passenger does not get a head rest, and you get an armrest, which, look at it, okay, it doesn't have a stop mechanism. It hits right below here, so again, that's not properly done. You know, the seat belt is so badly done. What do I say? Yeah, the seat belt is so badly done now that you have to actually manage to just, I mean, it doesn't go back into its place, so you have to adjust it and see how it works. So yeah, this is not properly done either, and this seat belt will actually fit Yokozuna as well. So this is like 80s car, and it feels like that in almost every way. The dashboard is also the same as before, but there are minor changes to the dashboard. I think there were grab rails here before. I'm sure there were grab rails before. They have removed the grab rail from there. So minor changes here, removing stuff. I don't know why, because they're like, you know, the ride quality and high handling is better, which I obviously disagree with. That's why no grab handle needed now for the co-passenger. The co-passenger needs more airbags. This car has got 2 airbags, no side airbags, mandatory 2 airbags, so they have given 2 airbags. I don't think this car can support only side airbags or 6 airbags. Light placement here on the top, again everything halogen. I can even see the wire on the inside, and this thing has a bit of a hump, maybe because of the wiring of this going from there. Now it gets these new seats, so leatherette seats on the top model. In fact, top model gets leatherette seats and alloy wheels over the not top model, yeah, one less model. So B6 option versus B8, leatherette seats actually, and you obviously get diamond cut alloy wheels. Those are the 2 additional features. Other than that, almost all the features seem to be very similar. You can see how open this is. Yeah, I mean, honestly, this car is very dated and needs a comprehensive update. Mahindra can do it. Mahindra is like, it's selling anyways. Why do we care? Why do we bother also? Now let's get into the driver side. For starters, they have actually added a cup holder here. So there was a small storage space earlier. Now we have a bottle holder here which can hold a 1 liter bottle, which is nice. Hard plastics everywhere. Exposed screws almost everywhere. Tire information given here. What is the tire pressure you should maintain? And moving this seat ahead and behind is a proper gym workout because it has so much resistance now. It's very difficult, and look at it, the quality of it is very poor. Pedals which come from a truck. Yeah, there is no dead pedal here, but the pedals are from a truck, and obviously a lot of exposed bits. In fact, look at the exposed bits here. Lot of exposed wiring, cabling, almost everything is exposed in this car. A dummy button here, headlight leveler and engine start stop button has been given. Now this key is the same as the Scorpio N. However, the XUV 700 now gets 7XO, gets a new key. Unlock the car, lock the car, and this is, I think, to turn on the light or something of that sort. It's obviously buzzing. It has got a ring here because that's illuminated, so you can see it at night. Let's turn on the car. No clutch lock, sounds very loud obviously. See, fit finish is so poor that there are a lot of gaps, a lot of hard plastics almost everywhere in this car. So yeah, that's a bit of an issue. And doors, they open as wide as you dare open them because it's held by this particular strap right there. This is actually telling you the information about the fuse box, I believe, and the steering is similar to the other Mahindra models, specifically the older 3-door Thar and obviously the Bolero Neo and all. And there are no buttons here, but now it gets steering mounted buttons as well, so that's added too. Seats are actually narrow, so not very comfortable. In fact, the cabin is narrow, so yeah, it's not very comfortable as such. And then you can see some screw has been painted at least. Now, power window controls are not on the door for the front. Instead, it's given here in the center, which is not an ergonomic placement. You get twin cup holders here, handbrake, and you get some storage space here along with a 12-volt charging socket as well. The glove box is really very small. It's not usable as such, and it's very flimsy as well. So many hard plastics. You know why I'm a bit about this car? Because they don't put any thought. They're like, you know, if it's selling, let it sell. Now just imagine, I'm sitting here, this is my driving position. This steering wheel is hiding the tachometer of this new instrument cluster. Is this right or wrong? Obviously it's very wrong, but Mahindra doesn't care. No height adjust, no adjust only for the steering wheel. Now they had a driver information system which has been moved here, so they didn't even bother to remove this or put anything here. This is just blank. Yeah, this is just a blank panel. How does that even make logical sense? It does not, but Mahindra is like, who cares, let's do it anyways. And again, the instrument cluster is not aligned with the steering wheel. It is just so offset, so not the easiest to use. Now they have put a driver information system, so this is actually the tachometer. Revs very slowly, look at this. Yeah, it revs like very slowly. It gives you telltale information here. This is a digital cluster here. This is not fully digital, but digital here. This is a fuel meter, and I don't know what the mode is, but it also gives you the CNG telltale light, even though this car doesn't have CNG. And you know what, everything is here. It doesn't illuminate when it's needed, but it's always illuminated because that's the level of cost cutting they have done. Now here I have multi-information displays which telling me the fuel efficiency, what's the distance to empty, and a clock as well. Here I can go through the twin trip meters and come to the odometer. It tells me the drive time as well. And this is the tire pressure monitor, which obviously doesn't work because it says high pressure, error, 0 psi. So yeah, that's kind of useless. Why is it even there? I don't understand only. So I'm going to turn off the car, and when I turn it on, it does this whole full swipe up thingy. Well, that's about it. Tire signal missing because the tire pressure monitor doesn't work only. Now obviously notice one thing, how this does not sit in place. Yeah, you have to secure it on the top. Okay, I put it like this, and then it will obviously come down, so it's not properly done. Again, lack of attention to detail almost everywhere. No auto dimming mirror either. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem there. And this actually brings me to this 7-inch screen. Firstly, it doesn't look like a 7-inch screen. It's actually a touch screen. So first time Bolero has actually got a touch screen, and it's horrible to use. I think this is a dealer level fitment. Obviously, when you turn on the car, it shows you the Mahindra logo, and then it takes 3 years for it to load. So like now also I'm waiting. Come on, load, what are you doing? And here you get 2 USB-A and 1 USB-C charging socket. Yes, a USB-C in a Bolero. Oh my goodness. AC control has been given here. This is for the front defogger. There's no rear defogger in this car, and AC is actually a chiller. So they have done a great job in terms of the air conditioning of the vehicle, which is really very nice and impressive as well. It's still loading. Amount of time it takes to load, it does not give a command. It doesn't send a command to Mahindra for approval. It actually sends a command to Mahindra as well as Android in the US, and you know, US time zone difference. That's the reason it takes so much time to load. Now this screen is horrendous. There's no Apple CarPlay, there's no Android Auto, none of that, and it is, I think, a capacitive touch. It just doesn't respond to things. But you know, if you figure it out, you can actually make changes to the steering, I feel. So here you come into apps, and then it says steering wheel, and then I think you can configure a few buttons. There's no rear parking camera. Don't give us alloys, give us rear parking camera, because it's a technical feature wherein wiring and all has to be done. Alloys, so we can put later anyways. And then you can actually change the color of the screen. Wow, what a revolutionary feature nobody asked for. It just has Bluetooth connectivity, and then you can make changes to the equalizer and all. It's so small now. I need a magnifying glass or something to actually be able to figure this screen out. Not such a job well done, and some vibrations can be felt on the gear lever. Ergonomics are also very poor here because seats are narrow, truck pedals and all that. Like, there are a lot of misses with this car. Attention to detail is so poor that the wipers are almost always a little up. Yeah, that's a bit weird. And the door lock mechanism is ulta. So usually when you put it inside, you expect it to lock. Here you have to pull it out, then it locks, and pushing it inside actually opens it. That's also a bit weirdly done, if you ask me. Yeah, that's another sort of a miss. And obviously it gets drum brakes. Look at the size of the drums at the rear, and look at the exposed wiring and cabling all throughout. Yeah, you can actually see almost everything here, which is kind of weird. You can obviously see the leaf springs as well, which obviously is the reason why this car is not comfortable. And you can see the vibrations as well. The mud flap is actually vibrating. It's making a weird hissing sound, like something is leaking or something of that sort. I don't know what is it about, but yeah, there is this hissing sound which I've experienced in almost every Bolero. But does it hiss, or like, I was going to say some other weird word which I shouldn't have, so I haven't done that before that. Oh yeah, that feels so freaking rugged. Yeah, built to last. Anyways, let's start driving right away. All right, let's start driving. Let's turn on the car. No clutch lock. Oh, there it rose to life straight away. Let's turn off the air conditioning. This thing takes years to obviously turn on. Audio quality is not that great. But there is no physical button here either for the volume, so that's also a bit cumbersome because you have to go in the screen and do that. Not very nice. The roof isn't nice because a lot of quality issues on the roof. In fact, the door beading is coming out at the rear, so yes, I expected the quality to be better here. In fact, even the door handle outside, it has exposed bits on the top. So yeah, quality is not the forte of this car. Whenever you open the fuel lid, it's usually here, but in this car, it's down here. So very weird positioning. And when you open the engine bay, you will notice some very bad quality on certain parts. In fact, it even has this warning, don't jet spray wash the engine, because obviously the audience of the Bolero could do anything probably. And this window also makes some sound. So not the smoothest in terms of operation. And to adjust the mirror, you have to open the window because there's no internal adjustment. You have to adjust the mirror like this, which is kind of weird at this price. At least internally adjustable it should be. I'm not saying electric, but internally adjustable to hona chahiye na. My seat is fixed. There's no height adjust available, unfortunately, but they've done some attention to detail here and there. You know where? They've actually put Bolero branding in the tail light. Anyways, let me get into reverse. Yeah, reverse doesn't work that smoothly. Sometimes you have to declutch and then reclutch. And now I'm just going to get out from here. So obviously nothing really to turn on and off because this car is so basic. It's as basic as it gets. The steering is actually quite heavy. But you know what's the best thing about this car? It's the engine. It's very smooth, very tractable, and quite refined as well for a 3-cylinder diesel. punchy. You don't have to rev it hard because low end performance is amazing here. Feels very torquey in the way it pulls. This heavy car, it's heavy because obviously a ladder frame, power being channeled to the rear wheel, so more drivetrain loss. Yeah, rear wheel drive, but because it doesn't have too much power, you're not going to oversteer or do burnouts here at all. Now the driving dynamics are not bad because this is a very crude vehicle, and Mahindra, like, we have improved the car's drivability, not drivability, dynamics with this ride flow technology. They say with the ride flow technology they have actually altered the damper settings and the spring rates, and they have made the steering lighter, and the ride is improved, and the handling is also better, less body roll. I can confirm none of that is true because still the ride, handling, braking, all the dynamics are actually quite poor here. There's a lot of roll in this car. In fact, if you corner this aggressively, you will 100% end up with the roof down and the wheels up, because I was just casually taking a corner, not very fast. I just flipped the steering into a corner. I was on two wheels. This whole left part of the car lifted. Thankfully, I was able to control it by giving opposite lock and then putting the car down. But yeah, that was very, very, very risky and very dangerous as well, because this car was heading to topple. So yeah, ride quality is not good. There's a lot of roly-poly in this car because of the high center of gravity and tall height, not great suspension, not good ride and handling balance, small tires. Yeah, the tires are also very small here, surprisingly. So yeah, the car looks under-tired as well. So yeah, this is not a car for enthusiastic driving, but this is a car which obviously is very, very, very rugged. This is one of the few non-Toyota cars which will last you a lot because it's so simple mechanically. There's very little which can go wrong with it, and that's one of the major reasons why it sells, because it is tough. It is super, super, super tough. People who buy this car don't even look at the Bolero Neo because they want something which is as tough as this one, and obviously with a ladder frame. The Neo is also ladder frame, but you know, the car is so rugged that people are just so easygoing when they buy this car, especially in smaller towns, wherein they know this is a car which will never, ever, ever like break down or something of that sort. Not that the Neo will, but yeah, that's how it is. In fact, the Bolero really sells because it does very well in commercial segment. So firstly, the cops use it, so it's easy to say that a lot of sales are actually coming from commercial vehicles. In fact, they also have the pickup and all those things, because of which obviously sales are as they are. There's no real competition to this car. Now this is a 1.5 litre 3-cylinder engine known as the M-Hawk 75 because it makes 75 horsepower and torque output is 210 Newton meters. I think there's an improvement from before. In between they have updated it probably. I don't remember when first this engine came. It was lower output, at least lower torque, I think 190 Newton meters. But yes, it's a very tractable engine, but the gearbox is still a 5-speed unit. The clutch is light, it's not heavy, and the gearbox is decently okay. I mean, it's not the slickest to shift, but yeah, it is, I would say, good enough looking at the character of the vehicle. So definitely this is a car which is actually very smooth to drive. Unlike the features, unlike the fit, finish and quality levels, the drive experience is very, very, very different here. It's not fast. It doesn't need to be fast because it's obviously not meant from zero to go from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. It's meant to carry a lot of luggage, and that's the reason it's running on leaf springs. Coil springs at the front, leaf springs at the rear. Very good with heavy load, but very bad when only one person is sitting in the car, like right now. So yeah, leaf springs, pain in the ass, but they are very cheap and obviously low maintenance, and that's one of the reasons why it's running on leaf springs. And because of that, obviously the ride is not good here at all. Insulation level is also not good, but the engine is actually quite boomy at higher end of the rev range, which is good because I like to hear the sound of the engine. 60-litre fuel tank, brakes are so wobbly. I think that's a camper. Wherever you see, you're going to see a lot of Boleros. There are no two ways about it. But yeah, come on, 6-speed gearbox could have been offered because yeah, that's the norm these days. But this car is sort of way past its sell date. Honestly, the Neo should have just taken over, but a lot of people are preconceived in the sense that they just want to buy a car for nostalgia, and that is the reason why this and the Pulsar 220 continue to sell. Nostalgia. Thankfully, nostalgia hasn't worked on cars like this one, which is the Xylo, which has stopped selling completely. I think it's discontinued. No, I got confused with Marazzo. Xylo is discontinued long back. They chopped off the rear of it and it became Quanto. Mahindra does weird stuff at times. Start, stop system, turn off the car. So let's turn it on. I press this button, it turns on. Let's rev it completely. Yeah, it doesn't have any top end as such, revving at 3,500 RPM. That's it. Okay, soft limiter, not really. Alright, it's the time you have been waiting for, which is the 0 to 100 km per hour acceleration test. Will it reach 100 km per hour is a good question you might want to ask. Hazard lights on, revving the motor, hazard lights off, and off we go. Off very smoothly, quickly upshift, wheel spin on upshift. Gearing is really very short, which makes it actually quite peppy, and I can't really see the tachometer, so I have to go a little right. This is such an ergonomic flaw here. 80 warning there, and now I am into 5th gear. So yeah, fuel is still quite a lot in this car in spite of me just driving it all day long. Yeah, 60 litre fuel tank here, and 0 to 100 km per hour in 23 seconds. That's 3 business days to be precise in layman language. Yeah, that's a lot of time. Brakes are not good. Yeah, it has got disc at the front. They say they have improved the braking performance. I don't see where and how, but what Mahindra is like saying that, you know, they have made minor changes which don't really make much of a big difference here. In fact, drums still at the rear, brakes really suffer in that sense. That's the reason I need to just keep my phone here and do the braking test. At 1 second we should reach some speed at least to do the brake test. So yeah, I think 80 would be a good speed to test the brakes of this car, because it doesn't even go further. Hazard lights on. Oh, so much sound coming from the brakes. What's this? And I think something was flying out. My purse, man purse was flying, I think. Now, instead of launching this car, I'm just going to put it into 3rd gear. Hazard lights off, and off we go. Did I slot into 3rd? Yeah, I did. And off we go. Very slowly. Yeah, easy going. Full throttle now, and just see what this car does. Yes, that's right. This car is so tractable that it can roll off rather from 3rd gear itself, which is quite unbelievable. And from 0 km per hour all the way till 85, 87, yeah, 88 kilometers, 90. Are we going to hit 90? Yeah, 90 kilometers per hour in one freaking gear. 91 kilometers per hour in one freaking gear. Red lines at 4,500 RPM. Usually it's not redlining that hard, but then if you keep it plonked, like your throttle, yeah, it's not plonked, pinned. If you keep your right foot pinned, it will reach 92 kilometers per hour at 4,500 RPM in 3rd gear. That's crazy level of tractability of just 1 gear. Absolutely mental. I am so freaking impressed by it. In the real world, expect a mileage of around 14 to 15 kilometers per litre. Right now it's saying 7.6 kilometers per litre because I am driving, but if you drive it steadily, expect a mileage of almost 14 to 15 kilometers per litre, which is very impressive, and that's one of the major reasons why this car sells so well. Is the cost of running is very low. In fact, this is a car which is super easy to repair. Firstly, nothing goes wrong, and even if anything goes wrong, it can be repaired easily. I'm not cornering aggressively because I don't want to be in that pond. I know how scary it was when the car was on 2 wheels. Yeah, it happens. Sounds nice actually. I like the diesel grunt. Just the wipers now, they are a bit high. They should be like lower down. So yeah, but attention to detail is something which is definitely missing here. And around the corners there's so much roll. The wipers now, they unnecessarily keep working only. I stopped it, but still let it keep doing this swiping thing here. And now into 1st gear. It's very easy to drive this car on 2 wheels. If this car was sold in the UAE, in the Middle East, trust me, a lot of people would be driving it on 2 wheels because it's the easiest car to put on 2 wheels. Yeah, just corner aggressively and that wheel lifts. See, a little bit lifting there of the front left wheel. So that's something which definitely happens here because that's the way this car has been made, with very poor dynamics. It's actually very old and hasn't been updated since donkey's years, which shows that Mahindra has come a long way. If you drive the 7XO or the Scorpio N or the Thar Rox, and then you're like, wow, the same car brands which make something this crude is making something that amazing. But it's not Mahindra's fault that this car is the way it is. It's the fault of the buyers. They just don't want to let go of it. And obviously, if something is selling, why will Mahindra discontinue it in the first place? What Mahindra can do better is obviously conceal the wires. All of them are exposed. Not all, some of them, or quite a few of them have been exposed, which is not the right approach because, like, if you drive this car in treacherous terrains, like if you take it through flooded water and all, you know it could obviously mess up a few things here and there. Anyways, let's see if we can reach 100 kilometers per hour on this stretch. I really doubt though. Alright, it's the time to test the acceleration, and here we go. Short shifting a bit because obviously low end is the best, mid range is okay. I came into 5th. I messed up. Instead of 3rd, I went to 5th, which is very, very, very poor driving. Okay, there's not much insulation. I could hear the bike as if it's right here inside. Into 1st, and off we go. Come on. So the base variant is priced at rupees 9.55 lakhs. This top variant costs rupees 11.81 lakhs on road Mumbai. And the price difference between this and one variant lower, which is the B6 option, is 64,000 rupees. And you basically get alloy wheels and leatherette seats extra. That's about it. Come on, you can do this. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 21.87 seconds, which ain't bad, but it ain't good either. So there are 4 variants. There's the B4, B6 option, and the B8. And the Bolero Neo makes a lot more sense because it costs between 10.57 lakhs to 12.81 lakhs. So 3 of the variants are actually lesser in terms of cost when compared to this particular variant. I think the tagline for the Bolero Neo is the boss, and the tagline of this car is boss hai. Like really weird taglines. Where do they even come from? From a brand which has done taglines like nothing else will do, such iconic ones. Where do they get this boss obsession for the Bolero? Probably, I think it's for small town entrepreneurs who use the car for doing a lot of things, including transporting stuff in the Bolero. By the way, there's some bridge coming up there. I don't know which one it is. This car comes with 3 years, 1 lakh kilometer warranty, which is quite the norm. Actually, it's a Toyota warranty type thing. Yeah, 3 years, 1 lakh kilometers, what Toyota usually offers. Come on, move ahead. What are you doing? Where's the power? There's none as such. But this car is not about power. First gear, revving the motor. Come on. You know, there's a Bolero Neo Plus as well, which is priced from 13.5 lakhs. The top variant is 14.69 lakhs. 2 variants only. You know what's the big deal about that car? It's a freaking 9-seater. The Bolero is not a car. It's a freaking bus. Who makes a 9-seater car? Which is absolutely crazy. Now I've come into 5th. Obviously, it's going to bog it down a lot of wind noise you can hear on the A-pillar area. So now 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in. Come on. 27 seconds. So yeah, best case scenario, it will do 21.5 seconds. Can come to almost 21 seconds as well, depending on how well you launch it. Not easy to launch this car because the gearbox can be a bit soggy as well. And on that disappointment, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. That's the like button. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Remember one thing, this car might be crude, but the reason why it sells so well is because it's established its name so well in the market. And that is a lesson we all should learn. Once you get established in life, you can do whatever you want, including making a car like the Bolero, because yeah, it's a good car, amazing car back in the day, but now it's the time for the Neo to take over. Similar case of the Scorpio Classic and the Scorpio N, very similar stories. It's not that the Bolero Neo is as good as a Scorpio N in its own segment, but yeah, you understand, it's a huge step forward there. I actually cannot question the high-speed stability of this car because this car firstly doesn't reach high speeds, and if there is some wind now, it's wobbling all over the place. The Desi G-Wagon, it's not. It's the B-Wagon, which is not the Bolero wagon, but whatever. Well, the video is over, but make sure to check out this awesome car perfume from Involve Your Senses, the Involve One Snowfall. You can get yours with a 10% discount by clicking somewhere on the top right corner of the screen right away, or just use coupon code FASTBEAM. Bye-bye.